Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fish Tank. Now today I thought it would be fun to have a look back at one of the best matches from our recent tournament. Now this tournament was streamed live on Twitch and it is available on my YouTube as well. So if you watched it, then you've got a good idea of what's coming up, but maybe we can have a view at it from a different perspective. Now also, if you want to watch this match from the perspective of the tournament, as though it was live with the commentators, I'll put a link in the description, maybe a card up here somewhere, so you can click on that and find out. Right, so let's check this out. So we're going to see a match between Memfisto, the reigning champion, and Renzo. Now, this was a semi-final match, best of 5, and this was game number 4. Memfisto was 2 games to 1 up at this point. So I thought it'd be interesting to have a look at the decks before the match, which is not something we often get to do. So we got King Puff against Mordar. So immediately what we think there is Night Puffs are going to struggle against Mordar. Night Puffs now, since the most recent change, have a shield plus 2 HP, so Mordar will kill them easily. So that's something that's definitely not in King Puff's favour at that time. So let's just have a look at the deck. So we've got a Zenchi King Puff deck from Memfisto. We've got some Growth Burst Shroom mechanics in there, and we've got some Jing Juggle with some spells to hopefully get some good stuns. Now, it's kind of heavy at the top end. It also has a Rock Rivals, which Rock Rivals is not what it used to be. Of course, they changed it, so you no longer have an easy run after you've got rid of the statue. The statue is spawned for your opponent every time. But the offshoot of that is it's only 4 mana. But how is that crucial in this situation? Well, remember, Renzo is Mordar. So if Memfisto is going to be rock rivaling, giving Renzo a statue, that statue then becomes a potential resurrection source for Renzo, which could be a pretty valuable resurrection. So that's something we'll definitely have to look out for. Now, Cage Prowler in Renzo's deck, that's a very, very strong card in the meta at the moment. We've got Jolo, of course, nerfed a little bit lately, but still decent. Assassin, really good DPS. And, of course, the Bounty Sniper, one of my favourite cards. We're not fully sure how it works. Something to do with getting kills, generating XP, something like that. But it seems to work out well if we play it. And, of course, the idea is to keep the Sniper alive in the back. Now, of course, one thing to pay attention to is what ways does Memfisto have of dealing with the Sniper? Well, he has a Chain Lightning, which is a great way of dealing with the Sniper. But, of course, the Bounty Sniper has the extra ability of generating a shield if you're behind on XP. So if Memfisto was running, for example, Poison, the shield wouldn't really matter because the Poison will tick through it. But, of course, the Poison will protect against a single damage spell like the Chain Lightning. Now, we've also see here that in Renzo's deck, he's got a Curse Bearer, which is going to be great against anything big. And, of course, the Stun Lancers as well. Tranquil She-Howl, that's a really nice tanky unit. And, of course, it doesn't matter what HP he reses with because he'll heal back. So that's a really nice little sneaky cheeky sneaky tiki. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Something nice in a Mordar deck, though. And a bit of range DPS in the form of a Succubus. Okay, so there we have the decks. So let's jump into the game and check it out.
Minion Masters.
Right. Memfisto, King Puff, Renzo, Mordar. So let's see how it works out. We looked at it on paper and got an idea of how it's going to work out, but let's see in principle how that is. So the plan, of course, with the Cage Prowler is it's 3 mana for what is effectively a 5 mana Prowler. So efficient if you can get it to spawn. And of course, there's the potential for it to revive as well. Now, the Chain Lightning doesn't do enough damage to prevent the Prowler, so he's unable to do that. And here we see the first Rock Rivals. The Golem does pick up the Shroom, so it does get the Growth Burst bonus, the extra HP. Nice stun there with the Jing, paying attention to where the Assassin was. And again, nice little stun here. There is a bridge swap available. Jing goes down. Statue is going to start attacking because, of course, there is the curse on the Golem, and the Golem does die. So Renzo got a decent interaction at the start there. Is ahead on XP. Does have a Tombstone. Look like it's going to revive. Now, Memfisto does have that Chain Lightning, as we mentioned, which is going to be the potential to stun the Tombstone, but it's expensive to just use it to stun the Tombstone. So we'll see how he decides to utilise it, but good bridge switch. Of course, bridge switch stunning the enemy unit. The succubus was absolutely destroyed there, but the succubus reses for a second time, I think. Full HP, so that's kind of surprising. Okay, the assassin does de-aggro at the top, which could be a problem because Renzo's taking some decent damage here. Nice stun again at the top. Assassin goes down to the Jing. And we have the Blood Imps in play. Remember, they are only 1 mana. They do good DPS, but of course you will take that Blood Pack damage based on the overkill damage they take. So you've got to be careful there. Right, this time he used the Chain Lightning. Doesn't shut down the Prowler, but did kill the Sniper, which could be really important, especially when we look at the XP. Renzo does have a huge XP lead to start with here, so he'll be very happy with the way this has gone. Has taken some face damage, but health, as always, is a resource. Now, the Stun Lancer's only stunned for 4 seconds, remember? So that Golem did come out of the stun. There's the switch to deal with the Tranquil. No res. That Tombstone's almost dead as well. Looks like we're going to get a Stun Lancer res, which is not the res that he wants, but it's a free unit. Potentially put pressure on the bridge or help here in the defense. The Assassin's going to really help. When we look at the Assassin and the Succubus, that is a lot of DPS that he can put out. Now we get some Night Puffs at the bottom there. That's from King Puff's perk 2. And there we see the Jing getting the stun. So the Jing, of course, will spawn with a stun if you use the Zenshi Flow, which is using a Zenshi card prior to it. That's one of the reasons why the Heal Puff is there, a cheap way to activate that, but also can do it after the Rock Rivals or any of his other Zenshi stuff. Right, Golem goes down. Memfisto is healing quite a bit from that Heal Puff at the top, and there we see that was an almost dead Tranquil Monkey. Fully revives, fully heals. Right, bridge switch. Assassin is there at the bottom. Gets a good hit off, but there's way too much to deal with it. Here comes the res. Sniper's a nice res because it doesn't really care how much HP it's got, right? It's either alive or it's not. The HP, it's if something hits it, it's probably going to die. It doesn't really matter. Right. Glenn's Brew available from perk 2 as his freeze spell. He has used it to heal. But that Golem is dying real fast, and the statue at the top is basically full HP at this particular moment. Chain Lightning comes in, doesn't get the Sniper there. The Sniper wasn't on the field at the time. Scary looking push, and Renzo in a good spot at the moment. Remember, Memfisto 2 games to 1 up at this point in the tournament, so if he does take this game, he will get through to the semi-final and Renzo will go out. If Renzo takes it, he will force a decider. Right, perk 3, Tombstone for Renzo. That's the big Tombstone. A lot of resurrection potential. But there we see all the Night Puffs dying at the top. Mordar just stamping through them. Massive res at the top. That's the statue. So that statue is the one that Memfisto gave from the Rock Rivals. And it revived with haste and with spirit. So it's very tanky. And it's on face. Renzo's down to 500 HP though. This is looking dodgy. Bounty Sniper. We screamed during the tournament when he spawned the Bounty Sniper there. That was very scary. The Bounty Sniper does get the killing blow and survives though. If this game goes deep, if this game goes long, that Bounty Sniper can become really, really important. In Mana Frenzy though, it won't be able to get that shield, so it will be susceptible to the Chain Lightning that Memfisto has, but Renzo only at 400 HP, so he's, as we always say, health is a resource, but he's running out of health to use. A lot of units on the field. Bridge switch. Memfisto takes some face damage from the Blood Imps, but not really too much. He's pretty healthy at this point in the game. Oh, that Chain Lightning, I'm not sure that went exactly like he wanted to. I think he was hoping it was going to hit the Tombstone. It might not matter though. Looks like a statue's going to come out of the Tombstone with no HP though. Just gets a hit off to kill the Golem. So that statue wasn't the best res, but it really did help him defend. And this is scary. That's a Rage spell, a free spell from his perk 2 of course. And he's got to try to DPS through this Golem. Jolo is the perfect tank for that, assuming his luck does hold. Loses 50% dodge every time now instead of 10, so doesn't last like he used to, but still scary. Right, we're at Mana Frenzy. We're basically a double Mana Frenzy. It's Mana Frenzy for both teams. This is going to be crucial at this stage of the game. Who can get on the bridges? Memfisto still has the HP to use the Blood Imps, which is a real cheap way to generate those Night Puffs. Prowler. I don't think we've seen a Prowler be denied. From the look of the decks, there wasn't really no options for him to do that. He's done a really good job with the Jing, though, shutting down the Assassin, which is going to do some strong damage. But here, it's looking kind of scary now. Assassin gets hit. Nice chain, but of course the chain not going as far as it used to. Doesn't get anywhere near the tombstone. Right, Golem is out. Okay, statue is out at the bottom. There is an assassin with it. The stun's there for a while. Memfisto's coming round to this Golem real fast. The Rock Rival's Golem. When Renzo's still just under 300 HP. Memfisto's still healing. And that's important because it is allowing him to keep those Blood Imps cycling. And they are really important at some times. Chain Lightning, but the stun comes back. And Memfisto taking some face damage at this point. Renzo has somehow held on and is fighting back. Memfisto dropping. Healed a little bit, under 600 HP now, so he's going to have to be real careful with regards to those Blood Imps. Impetus Blast helping a little bit, but not probably as much as he wants. Bounty Sniper getting some value. And of course in Mana Frenzy, the Bounty Sniper is giving you XP, which is then, through the Mana Frenzy mechanic, being turned into mana. So it's effectively just giving you more mana. That's a good chain, takes out the Jolo in there. Needs to be super careful with that Assassin though. You miss where that Assassin is just for a second, you can just get punished. Right, we're nearly 8 minutes in. Right, Tombstone about to die. Are we going to get a last second res for Renzo? He does. He gets a Tranquil Monkey. Of course, that's going to heal up. So even though it's a last second res, it's still a valuable res. Renzo's done a great job holding on. Hasn't really taken any face damage for a while. He has been putting more pressure on Renzo's face. That Chain Lightning's great though. Tranquil trying to heal at the bottom there, but the Cursebearer gets right up on top of it. Another Prowler spawns. This time we're seeing a real defensively positioned Golem. And the problem with that is he hasn't been able to grab the Shroon. Face damage from the Prowler. We know how much damage that can do, especially with the jump. He's having to throw everything in front of his face to hold on to now. The Chain Lightning doesn't really get the value he wants. Does kill the Sniper, but that's not the biggest threat, I don't think, at the moment. Not sure if it was on face or not, but 42 HP for Memfisto. This looks like Renzo has somehow held on, and it's going to force what is going to be the 5th match in this series. And there we go. There comes the spell, the Daggerfall, and that is game, set, and match. And there we have it. That was an awesome game in our recent tournament between Memfisto and Renzo. Reminder, if you do want to check out the action as it was during the tournament, look in the description. There'll be a link there. But I thought that was such a fun game, such a close game, that it would be a really good one to revisit. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks for checking it out with me. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this match. Did it work out how you thought based on what we looked at on paper, or were you surprised? King Puff, not really the strongest master in the meta at the moment. The bridge changes really did hurt him, so potentially some changes in the future to maybe repair some of that damage. Mordar, pretty damn strong right now. That big perk 3 Tombstone can really help, and those statues getting rezzed were quite invaluable, I would say, for Renzo in that match. But yeah, really fun game. Thanks for joining me, and we are closing in on 2,000 subs here in the Fish Tank, so if you want to join along with us and make sure you don't miss any Minion Masters action, feel free to hit that sub button. I'm Bad as a Fish, and this is an Awkward Wave.